There you go. So, welcome CRS to learning how to video conference via video conference. We're going a little bit meta today. So, again, for simplicity, just make sure that everyone has your microphone muted and that you are using Google Chrome for your internet browser, because Internet Explorer can get pretty glitchy when it comes to working with the Google products such as Hangouts and YouTube and WeVideo and things like that. So why are we here today? We want to learn a little bit about video conferencing, but besides that, where can we have video conferencing fit into our job is something that is quite important. And so talking with some of the consultants, we came up with some ideas. For example, if Louise is working in a school one day afternoon and realizes she won't make it back for the curriculum meeting at 1 o'clock, she could find a quiet space in a classroom or even in the parking lot where they still have Wi-Fi and could join the meeting via Google Hangouts. So another idea is that you could have, for example, Sue I've heard an amazing literacy progressions presentation, and she could take the slides that she's already perfected for that and use WeVideo to turn it into a video that she could share out with her teachers, or that video could eventually become an online module. So that is the long-term goal with this, or the long-term planning. For example, this year, ISLI, or the languages team, we used Google Hangouts to connect a French immersion elementary class, a social studies class, with the curator of the National History Museum in Quebec. And they did a video conference and were able to have like a field trip via Google Hangouts. We also supported some elementary teachers to get their Division I students to use WeVideo to create videos. So that was pretty amazing. Just answering a couple of questions here. So first off, if you have any questions, you can send them a few different ways. There is a chat screen inside the Google Hangout, and there is also one in the YouTube Live window. So if you type your questions in there, I'll try to get to them as soon as I can, but with also working with with all of the video and the Hangout, it may take me a second to get there. So I'm just going to answer a question here that came up with Barb, and a great question about how to turn on the video. And so Barb, if you go to the very middle at the top, you'll see the muting microphone, turn camera off, etc. And if you turn the camera off, then we'll just have your Google Plus picture. Yay, I see it. We got it. And so what I'm going to do is send you all a link in the chat, and I'm also going to share my screen. So we're going to take a look at a few different things at once here. So just let me get this. Okay. So right now, everyone should see my screen that says Let's Hang Out. Should see a Google presentation. I've also pasted the link into the chats, the various chats. We have 2 or 3 going on here, which is great. And I'm just going to put them in. So here we go. So first of all, I hope that you all had a chance to check out some of our videos. We had about 4 minutes of tutorials and introductions just to give you a bit of a background to see what is possible with Google Hangouts. And we're not going to watch this video right now, but I will give you a quick rundown of everything that they talked about. So one of the first things you would have seen in this video is how this team uses Google Hangouts to connect with each other. And one way that you can do this is actually through your email screen. So I'm just going to present my email screen to you here. So if I am in my main email, you can see on the side here that I have a list of contacts. So again, I'm just in my email screen. If you do not see the contacts here, it usually means that you need to activate the chat. So how we're going to do that is up here, always settings is the gear icon. And so we're going to go to the settings and we're going to go down to the actual settings menu. And once this comes up, in the very top here, you'll see chat. And this is where we can turn on our chat so that you can have that available right inside your email. I'm going to show you that once more. So if you open up your email and would like to check out how to do that, so you open up your email. Like to follow along, we go to the settings gear in the top right hand corner and we're going to go down to settings, and then we're going to choose the chat lab right in the middle here, if you can see that, and then again chat on. So now when you do that, you should have over here a list of your contacts. And if not, you'll see the little Hangouts conversation in the very bottom left-hand corner. So again, in the bottom left-hand corner, we see this little Hangout chat, which kind of looks like some quotes inside a speech bubble. And so for example, if I wanted to talk to, let's say Norman, I'm going to find his name here, and I'm not clicking, I'm just hovering over his name, and it'll give me the choice to video call him, send a quick chat message, so that's almost like sending him a text message, or I can send him an email. So again, I'm going to find Norman on the side, and I'm going to click to be able to send him a message. How are you? And there we go, and he's going to get that popping up right on his email. An added bonus with sending a chat like this is if Norman has the Google Hangouts app on his telephone, he can actually receive a notification like a text message right on his phone on the go. So this is one way that you may use chat to help you send a message if you wanted to talk quickly. Okay, we're just seeing here that we have some people that are in the other link. Okay. Now we'll just make sure that everyone's getting on here. There we go. So that's one way that you can use the chat to send a quick message. Now, once I'm inside this chat, I can also turn this chat into a video call simply by clicking the video call button. I can also, if I wanted to add more people, for example, Colleen, I can add her to the group and create a new chat where I am talking to both Colleen and Norman at the same time. And I can also video call them if I want to. Now, I'm not going to click on this now because if I do, then it will shut off the main YouTube or the main session that we're all in together here. Okay. So that is how we use right through chat through our email. So when you would use this, for example, if you wanted to send a quick message to a colleague, or if you wanted to meet up with someone one-on-one, especially some kind of a spontaneous meeting, you've just decided that, oh, I need to talk to this person, you can send them a little Hangout chat message and say, hey, would you like to meet via video conference? Now, in our jobs, I think oftentimes we're going to need to know how to start a Hangout call that is, hi, Colleen and Norman. We're going to need to know how to start a Hangout call that is pre-scheduled. So, for example, if you are doing an online community of practice, or if you are trying to join a meeting that's on your calendar that you can't meet in person, then there is another way to do a Hangout that can do that. So I'm going to show you how to create in advance a link to a Google Hangout. So what you're going to do is open up a new window, and I would actually love for everyone to follow along. So if you can open up on a second screen or a split screen, open up your Google Calendar. Excuse me. So I'm going to imagine that I would really like to make this important meeting called Year-End Staff Celebration. But unfortunately, I know that I'm going to be in the school that day, right? And so if I wanted to join this meeting, it's actually quite easy via Google Hangouts, because every time you create a calendar event, it creates a Google Hangout link for you. So if I open up this event, you'll see here that it says video call, join video call year-end staff. So if I wanted to join this meeting, for example, if this was a curriculum meeting on a Friday afternoon, I could simply click this link and it would open up a Google Hangout video chat automatically for me. Now, to do this on my own, for example, let's imagine that tomorrow I'm going to be meeting with a group of French teachers to do a community of practice, and we're going to talk about how to keep the kids engaged these last 3 days of school. I'm going to click on my calendar to create an event, and I'm going to name it, Online COP. And I'm going to go into create event or edit event. One moment, we just have some people we need to remute here. So we can hear them. There we go. There we go. Now, you'll see here that it says video call join meeting. I can actually change that name. So if I want, I can click on change name, and I can say that this is the FSL COP, Community of Practice, for example. And then I can save that, and I can add guests. Now, if I save this, if I go back in, we'll see that we have the link here, and anybody that I add as a guest would have access to this link. Because a lot of our teachers, a lot of our schools are not using Google Calendar as much as we do in CRS, many of the people, many of the teachers we work with will not be familiar with this link or that this exists. So an added thing that you can do to support these teachers is actually send them an email with a link saying we are meeting via Hangouts via this link. So how to get that link is to right click on join meeting, and you're going to say copy link address. And then you could send that in an email. Now I'm going to go over all of these steps once more, and I would really appreciate if you could follow along and try it out. So actually create an event, a random event, and why don't you email me the link to the video call? Don't worry, I won't call you, but just to see if you can get that link started. So what you're going to do is open up your Google Calendar, and you're going to create a new event. So you can call this Hangout Testing. Okay, so we're creating a new event called Hangout.
How do I open my calendar?
Testing. You go to calendar.google.com, and that will open up your Google Calendar. You can also, from any Google product, so Google Mail or Drive or just google.com, you can go to what we call the apps waffle, which is in the top right-hand corner, this sort of bunches of squares, and you'll also see calendar right in there. So again, you can go to the waffle and go to calendar, or you
can I open my calendar when you're in yours? Because I can't.
You should be able to open your calendar because we don't have the same calendar.
I don't seem to be able to, so I don't know.
If you open up a new tab in your internet, maybe we can have Colette come over and give you a hand with that.
Wait,
I'm trying to open my calendar, but I don't know how.
well, you've already got it open. You're in it. This is your calendar right here.
Oh, that's not hers. This is mine. Okay.
Oh, well,
Yes,
no,
you want to open your own calendar.
Yeah. How it looks closed and open your calendar.
Oh, you just get out of it.
Yeah, and you're still in the, like, if you go back to here, you're still in the Google
Yeah,
Hangout.
thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you're going to create an event and call it Hangout Testing. And when you go into Edit Event, you'll see here under Event Details, it says Where, and then it says Video Call. And I want you to change the name. Call it Hangout and then your name. So Hangout Steph, for example, or Hangout David, etc., etc. And just press Enter to save that. So again, if you click on Change Name, then you can customize the name of that Hangout. Now, to copy the address to this event, we are going to right-click. So you right-click on Join Meeting, and you say Copy Link Address. Okay, so again, that's a right-click and Copy Link Address. And now I can open up an email and can send that to someone. So I'll get you just to send it to me. Here is the link to our video meeting. And you can paste that right in here. Or a little sort of advanced tip is highlight the text that you would like to link, and then press the Control button and go K to insert a link. Then you go Control V to paste it in, and OK. So again, how you would do that is you would type in what you want to hyperlink, and you highlight the word. Control K, Control V, Enter. It looks like all of these people were able to send me a link already. That's awesome. And Barb Melnichek wins. Oh, no, she was not the first. Look at all of these. This is amazing. And it looks like Marilyn Manning wins for the first link sent. Practice Hangout event. Way to go, Alicia. Yeah, so it looks like you guys are okay with this. And please, please, please do not hesitate to send me a Hangout chat or anything else if I knew there were prizes. And I would be more than happy to help you set up your first calendar event to do a Hangout with a group of teachers. I'd be happy to help you do that. So if you need support with that, please, please, please don't hesitate. So that is how to start a COP, or how to start an event with a video chat. So when you know in advance, the best way to do that is right through your calendar. Today is a little bit different because we are going through YouTube, The difference is that the Hangout that I'm doing with you today is actually being recorded and will be on YouTube so that you could go and look at it again in the past, or in the future, I mean. Now, with Google Hangouts, what we find is, or what I find the biggest issue, or one of the biggest issues, is the troubleshooting. So when you join a Hangout and you can't hear people, or they can't hear you, or you can't turn your webcam on, those kinds of things. And so I just want to show you some of the common troubleshooting. If it goes beyond what we're showing you today, it's probably because of something bigger, and so you might actually need a tech to look at it. So first of all, I can't actually show you my Hangout screen because it becomes sort of a mirror within a mirror within a mirror. So I took some screenshots here. So if you're on the slideshow, which I will also share out to CRS again. So if you missed the link for some reason, you can go to Shared with Me and get that link. There we go. So when you're inside your Hangout, you'll see in the top, if you sort of take your cursor and hover it up in the middle, you'll see this black bar come up that's got some little icons here. Now the gear icon is your settings. When you open that up, that's where you can choose the webcam and your microphone and which speakers. So oftentimes I find that when I'm having issues with teachers in a Hangout where they can't hear me, it's because they don't have the correct speakers turned on. Or if I can't hear them, it's because they don't have their microphone turned on. So this is where you can just double check that all of those are saying, for example, if you're using a USB Logitech headset, that the microphone and the speakers would both say something Logitech. So I'll just go over that again for those of you who are just maybe joining us here on slide 7. When you're inside a Hangout, to get to your settings, your first layer of troubleshooting is going to be to hover in the middle of the screen until you get the little black bar. And you're going to click on the gear for the settings. So that's where you can just double check that your microphone and headset and everything is chosen correctly. You'll also notice on this screen that we have this person with the plus. That is for you to add more people to the call. So for example, if you're talking with one teacher and you want to invite a colleague, then you can add more people to the Hangouts call. The microphone icon here with the line through it is going to be where you can mute yourself. And the same idea with the video with the line through it. If you click on that, you can toggle between turning on and off the video. And then again, the settings. So if your sound still isn't right after doing the kind of that first layer, what you can also check is the actual settings on your computer. So if you go down here to your computer screen and you see the speakers, so again, you find the speaker icon next to your clock. And if you right click on that, you can choose your playback devices. And once that screen comes up right here, sometimes I was having issues, like I've had issues with the sound before because I had both speakers and a Logitech headset enabled. And so the sound was coming through my computer speakers and not through my headset. So if that was the case, I could take my speakers and disable them. And then that way the sound is only going through the headset. Just don't forget to change the settings back when you're done. I'm going to show you that once more. So worst case scenario, you're pretty sure you've gotten the correct headset and everything chosen inside the Hangout. but for some reason you're still getting sound through your speakers and not through your earphones, you're going to go down to the speakers icon on your computer and right click and go to playback devices, and then enable or disable whichever devices you need. You can also do this for the microphone, and so you can do that right in here. Okay. So I hope that that helps with the troubleshooting piece. And here we go. So, oh, we've got just a message, a question coming up here. I'm sorry you got lost, Barb. Okay, awesome. Trying to find settings on slides. No, you need to be in the Hangout. So I believe you are part of the Google Hangout, correct, Barb? And so you're gonna, yeah, gotcha. Okay, all good, awesome. It's just when I screen share my the screen with Hangouts, you won't be able to see. So I had to do some screenshots here so you could see where to go. Okay. Now some other features in the Google Hangouts that is quite helpful is, for example, the chat and the screen share. So let's start with chat. If you're inside a Google Hangout, again, when you kind of hover inside, and this is where you can see that settings menu we talked about earlier. On the left-hand side, you'll see these two icons. So the sort of blue chatty one and the screen share, the green one with an arrow through it. If you haven't done so already, if you're inside the Hangout, not watching via YouTube, but inside the Hangout, I want you to just toggle that chat button on and off. And you will see you'll see the chat screen come up, and you can type in your questions. So I have here, for example, some questions from Donna. Will the YouTube have everyone's interruptions? Yes, Donna, it will have everyone's interruptions, but that's okay. It's just about trying it out and seeing how things go here. There is a way for you to edit that later, but for this video, it will have everyone's interruptions. Britt had a question, is there a way to raise your hand if you've been muted? There is, but we have, for just today, we're going to have everyone put their questions into the chat, just because we have so many people in the Hangout. We wanted to mute everyone so that we could get through some of the content and then hopefully answer the questions via the chat. So I hope that helps. You'll also see in the chat button, and it's sort of pixelated on the screen here, but there is a little add from Drive. So for example, if you wanted to share a document, you can use a link from your Google Drive. And so it takes you sort of like in Google Classroom when you're adding something, and you can just add a, there we go, I just added a Google Drawing to the chat, sort of just a random one. Now, what I did, so right now in the video, you guys can see me, you don't see me, you see my computer screen. And that's because what I did is I clicked on the green screen share button. So basically what a screen share is when you want the people in the Google Hangout to see what you're doing on the screen. So for example, if I wanted to demonstrate to my teachers how to get to the CRS website, I could screen share with them. So I just press that green button that we saw on the sidebar in the Hangout, and I can then, everything that I do on my screen, it's going to show them. So this is a great way to support our teachers, especially if they're asking for something like, how do I get to this website? And you know that the process where they're going to have to click quite a few times and look for quite a few things, then you might want to screen share with them and show them. I just have a question in the chat here via Sue that says none of your drive links are accessible. I sent the link, but I did not change the sharing. So yes, you would want to make sure that your document is set to anyone with the link can view. And so I've just clicked on the link to this thumbnail here, and I can do that. If I change the settings, and once you send that out, that's a great reminder, Sue, about how sharing a document in a Hangout, you need to make sure that the share settings are set so that everyone can see the document. So you're either going to add them specifically, or you're going to change it so that anyone with the link can view it. And now if you click that link, it should work okay for you to be able to open that. Okay. And yes, Donna, you're right, or they can send you a request for access. But if you if you have 25 people in the Hangout, and you don't want to be getting 25 emails, so it is a great reminder that we should be doing that beforehand, right? Excellent. So moving on, we've talked about troubleshooting and using Hangouts to do a video chat and to do a screen share. Now, what we would like everyone to do is actually try on your own. So we have shared a document with you earlier today that had a list of, I'll just go to it here, that had a list of partners. I think it was groups of 2 or 3. And so if you go to your shared with me, you will see that grade in there. Google Hangout training partners. I add that in here into the chat as well to help. So here are your partners. Now what I'm going to have you do is the person that is highlighted in blue in this first column is going to call the other 2 people in a video chat. Okay. Now I'm going to go over again how you can do that. There's sort of 2 main ways that you can add someone to a video chat. And the first way that you are going to do that is to go into your email. Just one moment, I've got quite a few windows open here, so it's just taking a bit of time. Oh, thank you, David. I was just looking for that document at the same time. So, for example, if we have Christina who needs to call Carrie and Louise. So Christina could do that by starting a chat box with one of those people. So if it was Carrie, and the other person I forget, Louise. There we go. And so I've got Carrie, and I'm going to add Louise. And typing it in here, it's just taking it a minute because we've got YouTube and all of these sites open and things, and so the computer's just taking a while to. There we go, and Louise, and I'm going to say create group. Now, once I have this group open, I'm going to click on video call to start the video call. You know, I'm not doing that right now because if I do, it will hang up on my Hangout, okay? So again, you're going to start from, you can start from your email, choose the new conversation and type in the people's names that you would like to have in your Hangout. The other way to do this is simply to go to Hangouts, so hangouts.google.com. So just a little kind of pro tip there. All of the Google products are named that way. So Google Mail is mail.google.com. If you want to get to your calendar really quickly, if you start typing in CAL for calendar.google.com, then it will come up. The other way is to go to the Apps Waffle. And if you go down to more, then you will see Hangouts. So Christina would then click on video call, and then she would type in Carrie and Louise's. So what we would like you to do is see your list, find your partner, and the first column is going to make the first call, and play around a little bit. Try the screen share and the chat feature and then hang up if you have time and have the other partners try calling, try making. So a few extra little sort of pointers or points of interest before we move on to the next topic. You will see in the slideshow that on slide 4, there's actually a graph. So if you're looking to do a little more advanced work with Google Hangouts, this is a chart that may help you. Google Hangouts exists as a website, an extension, an app, as well as a tool that works through YouTube live streaming or Google Calendar. And so this is a table that I've made to sort of help you decide which one might be best for you. And there's also a link to tutorials that really go into more in-depth instructions about how to use the Google Hangouts through Gmail, how to use the Chrome extension. So that, for example, the Chrome extensions are the things that you see up here next to your address bar. How to use the app, so meaning the mobile app on your telephone. How to use it for Google Calendar. And then how to do the YouTube live streaming. So that's like what we're doing today, where it's actually taking a video of this whole interaction from 1 to 3 o'clock. And will be posted so that we can watch it later. So just a few things to point out. One, the Chrome extension does not support group chat. So I've highlighted this in yellow because it's maybe the one that you probably don't need. If you have through your email, so like we showed the chat window before, that's great for just doing from a Chromebook, for example, or like an impromptu sending a chat to somebody. You can do a planned chat. For example, you could say to a teacher, well, let's meet via Google Hangouts at 2:15 on Friday, but it's not really made for the planning or pre-scheduling of a session or of a Hangout. For that, you would probably want to use the Google Calendar way that we showed you earlier. If you, again, would like it to be recorded, then you're going to do that through YouTube live streaming. And that's a little more complicated. So if you're interested in doing the live streaming, please come and see me or check out the tutorial link and I will show you how to do that. And again, all of the apps, through the calendar, the extension, all of that will work on a Chromebook. So Google Hangouts is actually a great tool for our students to be using as well. Okay, and when I say app, I do mean the mobile app, like on your telephone. And there we go. So now we're going to move into the second part of our day, which is looking at how to do a screencast, or how to use WeVideo to make a video of a slideshow, for example. So we can all do this together. If everyone opens up a new Chrome tab here, and you're going to go to wevideo.com. And hopefully you all signed up with Google. If you haven't, then you're just going to do that now. So you'll click on the sign up with Google account, and you're going to choose your EPSB email, etc., and log in like you would for your email or anything else. Now, I already have an account, so I'm going to click on login. It's going to take me to the login page where, of course, I'm going to choose login with Google. And it's important that you choose login with Google because this is going to keep everything within the EPSB domain. You don't need to remember a new password, all of those kinds of things. So first off, I'm going to just look at the dashboard and things here. So if I am just looking to create a new video or to create a new project, then I can do that just from the main dashboard. Basically, a video edit is when I want to create a video. A project is when I'm creating maybe a series of videos. For example, if you have, if you're creating videos for a module on DFR, then you may want to create a project called DFR where you will keep all of those videos inside or all of those presentations. It's just like having a folder. So I'd like you to follow along with me if you can. So you're going to create new, and we're going to create a new project. And we're just going to call it Hangout Testing or whatever you prefer. But not Hangout Testing, I guess it's screen sharing. Now I'm just, for simplicity's sake, going to make this just a normal personal video edit. But what's really amazing in WeVideo is that we can create collaborative projects, meaning that I could add someone else, so either other people who are part of this project or a project coordinator who's going to be taking care of the editing later. I can add them as a collaborator to this project, and it makes the video edit almost like a Google Doc. The only difference is that inside a Google Doc, everyone can be typing at the same time, whereas with WeVideo, when one person is working on a video, it's actually locked from other people. So you can still all work on the same video, just not at the same time. But for now, we're just going to try the personal one. And we're going to go to next. And I'm actually not going to add, because none of these videos have to do with that project, right? So I'm going to create a new video. Now, with WeVideo, we have a district license. So as this is getting set up here, I'll just give you a little bit of an explanation. And so we actually have quite a bit of storage, and we have the premium version of WeVideo. So you can upload videos from your Google Drive. You can upload, for example, videos that the videographer has taken for you, all of those kinds of things. We can upload right into WeVideo. Now, what is screencasting? So earlier, and even now, like right now in the Google Hangout, you can see my screen. That's called a screen share because I'm sharing my screen with you so you can all see it. If I were to record a video of that, that's called a screencast. So how can we use this in CRS or as consultants? Well, let's imagine that you have a Google slideshow that you've perfected and you've got a presentation that you do with that. You could, in WeVideo, and we'll show you how to do that in a few minutes, you could run through that presentation with your headset on and saying or voicing over what you would say for each slide. And WeVideo would record that and make a video out of it. And so it would actually be quite easy for you to record, for prosperity's sake, all of your professional learning sessions or any of the kind of stock presentations that you do. So what we're going to do once we're inside this video edit, my video, is actually click on the open video or screen recorder. So we're going to click here, and I want to record my screen. I'm going to say continue. Now, since this is the first time that I'm using the WeVideo screen casting, screen sharing on this computer, I actually need to install an extension, but I'm just going to follow all of the information, all of the instructions, and say install, and I'm going to add the extension. And we'll give that a couple seconds just to add on, and we'll get a notification up here that it has been added. Okay, so this I'm actually going to close because I do have the extension. So once I'm inside my video edit again, I'm going to click on record screen and continue. And now it's going to ask me which one. So do I want to record the entire screen? So for example, if I'm going to be going onto my desktop or something, or do I just want one window? So I'm going to choose my entire screen. And for my microphone, I think I just want to choose microphone 1. And I'm going to say continue. And since I have a split screen, I'm actually going to see them both. And I can see here that I'm going to want to this screen, my screen 2. And I'm of course going to allow the microphone so that it can record for me. Now we see here in the very bottom where it says video recorder for WeVideo is sharing your screen. I don't want this little white window popping up inside my screen because that would sort of mess up the aesthetics a little bit. So I'm actually going to say hide. Yeah, so we're gonna go back and try again. We're gonna start it again. Okay, that's the Google Hangouts one. I'm just gonna bring out the stop sharing. So we're gonna start it again. I'm just going to close this one. So we're going to go over it from the beginning. We're in WeVideo and we've started a new video edit. So if I already had the video, I can drag and drop it into the timeline and things like that. But I don't have a video yet. I want to actually make a screencast of my presentation. So in WeVideo, I'm going to click on Open Video or Screen Recorder. And to screencast, I'm going to choose Record Screen. If I wanted to have a video of my face and me talking, then I could do webcam. But we don't want to do that. We're going to do a screen record this time. And we say Continue. And this is the point where if it's the first time you're using the screencasting, you need to add the extension and accept everything. So choose microphone. So now we can actually see which microphones I have chosen. And I'm just going to choose communications because that's the same as I'm using in my Hangout. And I do want to record the audio. So I'm going to say continue. Now I have a dual monitor on my screen. And they both look the same this time because I'm sharing my screen 2 inside the Hangout, which is screen 1. And so I actually want screen 2 because that's where my Google slideshow is sitting. And so I'm going to say share, and I get a little bit of a countdown so that I can prepare myself. And then to not forget to hide the video recorder, this little white bar, otherwise that will be in your video, and we don't want to see that. So now this is where I'm going to go through my slideshow and I'm going to present it full screen. And hello, welcome to Let's Hang Out. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to go through my slideshow as if I was presenting this to people. I can tell them to please go look at this video and see some ways that you can use Hangouts to collaborate with colleagues. If you would like to learn how to start a Google Hangout video call, then please watch this 1-minute tutorial. And as you can see, I'm just going through the presentation, saying my blurb, basically talking about what I would want to present to other people in a session or whatever it might be. And when I'm on this slide, let's pretend that I make a mistake. That's okay. I can just go back and just say the thing again. We can always cut things out, right? It's very, very easy to do that. And I'm going to go through my presentation, etc., etc. And when I'm finished, I want to go back to WeVideo. I want to find the video recorder for WeVideo and say stop sharing when I'm finished my video. Now you probably won't hear the audio just because I'm screen sharing a screen share inside a Hangout, but to give you an idea, okay. So you'll see it now has a video of me going through the slideshow. Now here's where this can be quite important, is please download your video as well as saving it. So download first, because that's going to be your just in case I have a hard copy somewhere, right? And so you're probably going to want to name it something. So I'm going to say screen share testing on WeVideo. And I'm going to save that in my downloads. And I can see right here that it's downloaded. So now I can go here and say save, and it's going to save this video. You can see it right here. But for example, when I was testing this at home this weekend, just to kind of go through it and give it a test on a different computer to see how it would work, when I said save, it glitched and I lost the video. And so that's where if you download it first, then you always know that you've got a copy of the video. And I could always go into import media, and then I could open up my downloads or wherever I actually saved that on the computer, which is right here, screen share testing, and I could drag that over and upload it. Okay. So I'm going to go through the whole screen share one last time, just super fast. Well, it's not super fast, but once more, just to make sure that we're all able to do this. And I would love for you to try this as well. So try making a screencast, even of you opening up a website or of you going to your email and then clicking back, just to see how it works. So again, I'm recording it, so I'm going to click on the recording button. And I don't want my face, so I'm not doing the webcam, I'm doing the screen itself. So I go to record screen. Yes, I want the whole screen because maybe I want to go to my desktop. I'm going to choose my microphone and continue. I'm going to choose which screen I want to record. I can hide this. And this is where you can see me going into, for example, if I wanted to show somebody how to use VLC Media Player, or if I just wanted to show them a picture of former students on my desktop, right? So when I'm finished, we go down here to all our little Chrome windows and we find the video recorder for WeVideo. We say stop sharing. I'm done recording. And then we're going to download the video and then save it as well. Okay, so download and save. Now again, the thing to remember when you're going through your slides and you're screencasting, you're recording your screen, please don't worry if you mess up, especially if you are talking about a slide and you make a mistake. Just give yourself a bit of a pause, like maybe 5 seconds, and say, okay, let's edit that out. Okay, let's start again. And then you can go in and re-voice over that slide without having to make a whole new recording. Okay, just keep it going and keep going. So I would download and then save. Now, when I'm ready to actually do some editing on this video, I can take this video here and I'm going to drag it down into the video timeline. Now let's imagine I'm going to be watching the video and I decide that I don't want the video to start. I want all of this beforehand off. I'm going to snip it and then I can delete the first part. I can move this back. Okay, so again, if I'm watching this video and I've got all of this stuff at the beginning that I want to cut out, and I choose where I want my video to start, oh, let's hang out right here. So I'm going to snip it, split it into two. So you see how that's now two, and then I can just delete that one. The other way is to grab it by this side. Oh, that's just moving it. See, and that's why I snip it. Now, so I'm going to snip it right here. And then let's pretend that as I'm watching the video, I decide that in this few seconds here, I made a mistake and needed to start that slide over again. Oh, okay, well, this is where I started the mistake, and then this is where, and we can move them over and things like that, right? So we can cut out parts here. Okay. Right there, and take out this middle part, and then I can move those two together, and they'll all play seamlessly. And it usually will play seamlessly a little faster than this, but of course, with the Hangouts and YouTube and everything else that I've got going on, there we go. See? Now, as far as advanced editing features go, we're actually not going to look at transitions and all of the rest of the editing today. And the reason for that is that we are going to be relying on our admin support to help us with the editing part of the video. So that's why it's not so important if when you're going through your slides that you make a small mistake with your voiceover, because that can all be edited out. And we are going to have support from our admin team, our amazing admin team, to help with the side of the editing of the video, adding in transitions, having a district logo at the beginning and the end, or those kinds of things, and to make sure that our videos really look professional and everything else. And so it's great that we've got that support and that they'll be able to take over some of that editing for now. So for now, what we would like you to focus on is being able to do a screencast, to just record the video, and then play around a little bit with snipping out some of the audio or snipping out some of the parts that you may not want in the video in the end. I was reading a note from David here. He has a really great point. This is where having two monitors is a real asset, because you can have your slideshow on one monitor that you're screencasting, and then maybe you've got your notes, for example, about how to do what you want to say on each slide. You can have that open in your second window so that you can read from one window while you're screencasting the other window, right? Yeah, my poor computer has got too many windows open right now. So that's a really great point, David. Thank you very much for sharing that. And then that way, if you are only screencasting your presentation, the other people won't see your notes when you make the video. So what we're going to do is, we've got about a half hour left. So I'm going to unmute everyone who is inside the Google Hangout. And if you don't have any questions, then I'm going to ask that you leave the Google Hangout so that people who maybe didn't get to come in can try and come in, and we'll unmute and see if there's any questions. And I would like for everyone to actually try a screencast. So go to your drive, open up a brand new, or a presentation, an old presentation that you've done before, or a website that you share with teachers, and try making a 20-second video that just shows you opening up that website and how to get to it, or shows you introducing yourself on the intro slide, that sort of thing. And try and create a screencast, and then we will just save the video, see how it goes, and if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask myself or Colleen Storick or David Salmon or Colette Maunder. And there you go. I hope that this didn't go too fast for you, and I hope that's not too overwhelming. Again, please don't hesitate to ask any questions.